Hey guys, this is SEO Floyd, and I would like to welcome you back to another edition of Source University. So guys, I hope that as you're finding this video, I hope that you have been following along with the things that I've been teaching in order, because everything that I'm teaching is done strategically to be done in the order that I'm teaching it. So if you've reached this video and you haven't already done some of the steps from previous training, please stop this video and go back and knock those steps out. All right. So the last time that we talked about a couple of different things, but one of the things that we talked about was our foundational links or our introductory links. All right. So we talked about how to get a nice foundation with some Web 2.0 social accounts. So again, if you've not done that, please go ahead and get that done, okay? So if you've not done that, I'm going to pause here for a second so you can stop this video and go back and watch the last video. All right, guys, so if you're still here, then that means that you have done all the training up to this point and you are ready to proceed. All right, so today's topic, as far as ranking local clients, is going to be one of the most important videos in the entire training course, okay? Because what we're going to talk about today, again, is a foundational concept that if you understand this, you are going to be successful. If you don't, then you're likely to fail. So if you have Facebook on or you're multitasking, stop it. Turn off the phone, turn off the TV, and pay attention, because this is a concept that you need to understand, and it's something that is not likely to change, maybe ever. Okay? So what we're going to talk about today is NAP, okay? N-A-P, NAP. And that's something that if you're doing local ranking, you need to be intimately familiar with this term. All right? So NAP is an acronym for name, address, and phone number. All right? And why is this important? Well, there's a long story behind why this is important, but let me get you the short version. A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there were evil SEOs who tried to trick Google and tried to game the system. And they attempted to do this by creating all kinds of fake online properties. So they could have multiple listings for their clients or for their affiliate sites, and just for general nastiness. All right. So one of the ways that Google decided to combat that is by instituting basically like what we would call a trust rank, okay, for a website. All right. So I think that may be the first time that we've talked about that in this course. But the trust rank would be basically, to define that simply, would be there's lots of signals that Google can collect about your website to determine if it's legitimate or not. All right. And that determines its trust rank. So the more trust rank signals you have, the more trustworthy you are in Google's eyes, and the more likely you are to rank. All right? So when I say name, address, phone number, what I'm talking about is your website. So let's say that you have a local, roofing company again. It's very important that your website has a name, address, and phone number that is consistent not only on your website, but also on your external sites like Google My Business and Bing Business and all of your citation sites like Yext and Merchant Circle, etc. Okay, this is extremely important that these things match. All right, and it's extremely important that they match as close to being exact as possible. So, the name of your business, if it's Stevens Roofing, then you need to list Stevens Roofing everywhere that you list your business online, okay? You don't want to put Stevens Roofing Company or Stevens Roofing Inc. or Stevens Roofing Corporation, okay? It's not so important what you call your company. What's important is that the name, address, and phone number are consistent across all of your online properties, okay? So where does this begin? The most important place for you to have a consistent name, address, and phone number is on your own website, all right? If you are promoting a client who has a single address, then the easiest way to achieve this is with a site-wide footer, okay? The easiest way to achieve this is with a site-wide footer. If your client has multiple addresses, though, multiple locations, then you're not going to want to use a site-wide footer. You're going to want to have a unique NAP for each location, meaning that there will be a page on your website that targets each individual unique NAP. All right? So that's number one. The most important place is your website, but only slightly less important is Google My Business. All right? And so that's what this lesson is going to focus on, is Google My Business. All right? And so if you're not aware of what Google My Business is, Google My Business is a property that is owned by Google that allows you to market your local business within some parameters that it has set forth. All right, so it has some rules. But one thing I want you to make sure that you understand about Google My Business is that this is Google's property. Okay, and in effect, your Google My Business is actually a search engine result page. Okay, and that may confuse some people when I first say it. All right, but what I want you to understand is you don't own Google My Business. You don't own your listing. Okay, that's not your listing. It's not your property. It's Google's property, and therefore Google is going to use it however it sees fit. All right, so just remember that. Google does allow you to claim and verify a listing for your business, but never forget that it's Google's property. All right, so I am going to switch over now, and we are going to go through a setup live. And so again, this is a foundational step. So if you're multitasking or doing anything like that, please stop and pay attention, because I'm going to give you the most important things that you need to do in this section. And lots of you ask me all the time about ranking in the 7-pack results or the map results. And setting up Google My Business properly is the single most important thing that will affect that. Okay? So we all want to rank, if we have local clients, we want to rank local organically and in the 7-pack if it's available, right? We want to take as much real estate from Google as possible. So, best case scenario, we have an image result, a video result, a news result, right? And so just remember, specifically for the 7-pack, specifically for local, Google My Business is kind of the center of the universe. So please pay attention to this next part. All right, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and switch over and to another screen I have here. All right, so the way that you're going to start this process is you are going to go to google.com/business. All right, google.com/business. All right, and once you get there, you're going to get to this handy dandy page. All right, so if this is the first time you're setting up an account for someone, and you know that there isn't a listing that's already available, then that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you how to set that up. Now, let's say that you have a client and they already have a Google My Business. All right, then they will need to give you the credentials to log on to their Google My Business account. Okay, and so if they already have an account, you're just going to get their credentials, and where it says sign in here, you're going to sign in. All right, guys, so what we're going to do next is we're going to click Get on Google. Now, when you click Get on Google, one of two things is going to happen. If you're already signed into a Google account, a Gmail account, then you can use that one. If not, it's going to prompt you to make one. Now, if you're making this for a client, then don't use your account, okay? You want to use, an account that they provide, or you can use an account, that is just for this client, okay? So you're going to be able to give them access rights and permissions to this once it's set up, all right? So again, you're going to click Get on Google, all right? And so for this demonstration, I went ahead and I made up a fake email. I made up alexschmecker@gmail.com. And so, you go through a standard how you make a Gmail account, guys, all right? And then once it's done, I'm going to click back to Google My Business, all right? So you start here, click Get on Google. If you're already signed in, then you're going to see this screen after I click this. If not, it's going to make you make a Gmail account, and then you're going to go through this, all right? So I'm going to click back to Google My Business. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is it's going to ask you to find your business, all right? And so what we're going to do here, I'm going to just use an example that I've used several times in this course already. This is a local roofing company. Guys, before you ask, this is not my client, okay? Let me make that clear. This is not my client. It's just an example I like to use because it's easy, okay? So I typed in the business name, And as you see, it came up with several choices, and the more you type, the more it will give you. For this example, this is the one I want, Elevated Roofing, which is on King Road in Frisco, Texas, United States. All right, so I choose that one. All right, and now you're going to see here that they've already got another business. I mean, they've already got a listing, okay? So again, if this already exists, then you're going to have to do this, request admin rights, all right? And so that's what's going to happen if it's new. But for this demonstration, again, since this is already registered, it's a real business, let's play like nothing came up here, okay? So again, for purpose of this, let's play like nothing came up here, and I'm going to click that Add Your Business button, all right? So first thing that we're going to do is, I told you in the beginning, NAP is so important, right? Name, address, phone number. Name, address, phone number. So again, we're going to play like it's this business here, okay? So I hope you guys are following me. This is a real business that already has a Google My Business account, but I'm using it as an example, so hopefully no one's going to get confused, okay? So play like this is a new business that does not have a Google My Business listing, okay? So what we're going to do here, we're going to fill out all of these fields, okay? But as I told you before, remember, name, address, and phone number is very important. So business name, what are we going to use? We're going to use whatever the name of the business is, okay? So, it needs to be the official legal name of the business if there is one, okay? That's what's best. So as you look here, you see Elevated Roofing LLC, Elevated Roofing LLC, okay? So LLC means Limited Liability Corporation, and so that's going to be the actual, legal name of the business, all right? And so what I want you to notice here is the NAP is very prominently displayed on the homepage here. This business really has one location, and that's where it's ranking for. So this is what you want. Name is Elevated Roofing LLC. Address is this entire address. And then phone number, it has its real phone first, but then it's got the pound here, right? It's a separator bar, and the fax, and that's perfectly fine, okay, as long as there's a separator, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this Elevated Roofing LLC, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to paste it, all right? So we know for sure now that the N in NAP is matching, right? All right, so street address, what am I going to do? Again, I'm going to do the same thing, right? I'm going to grab the whole thing here, okay? And bring it on over, and I'm going to put it here. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. It doesn't matter which way you do it. You can put the suite on here as one row, or you could also put it right here on a separate row, like this, all right? And if you do, take out the commas because you don't need it, all right? So either one of these is fine. You could have left it here. You could have put it here. The preferred way is to go ahead and put it here because that's what that line is for, all right? So city, again, we're going to go back here. What's the city? It's Frisco. So I'm going to grab that right out of here. Good thing about doing copy and paste is, you don't do typos, right? Because you're not going to have a typo. Hopefully they're not going to have a typo on their homepage or on their website. All right, so Frisco, and then the state, and this is Texas, so I'll choose Texas, and the zip code is going to be 75034. So again, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that right there. All right. All right. Now we have the N, name, and the address, A, okay, in NAP. Last thing is phone number, okay? So main business phone number, all right? So the format that you see here on this website is exactly the format that you want to use, all right? This is the format that Google likes the most, is exactly this. So area code in parentheses, space, the number, dash, the last four numbers, okay? So as you see this, now if you don't have a parentheses or in 469, is it going to blow up your SEO? No, it's not, okay? If you, don't put a dash in between the 5 and the 0, is it going to blow you up? No. If you put a dash between the 9 and the 3, is it going to blow you up? No. But whenever possible, you want to use what Google likes the most, and this is what Google likes the most, okay? If you go through Google's guidelines, this is how it tells you to present this information. So whenever you can do what Google tells you to and stay, good, that's what you want to do, all right? So now we have the NAP, the most important thing. We have name, address, and phone number, all right? So the next important thing that we're going to need to do is pick the category, okay? So before you do this, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to analyze the people who are already ranking and see what categories they're choosing. Okay, this is very important. So as an example for this one, this particular business is ranking for the keyword Frisco roofing. Okay, it's a roofing company in Frisco, and that's what's the most important to it. So what we want to do is we want to pull this search up in Google, and if there's a map result, we want to go through a couple of these. Okay, you see them here at number 4. We want to go through a couple of these and see what category they've chosen. Okay, now I'm not going to do that in this video because this isn't real, and I can already tell you, because I'm in this niche, actually, just not this business, that the category is going to be roofing contractor. Okay, so you want to get, again, don't just randomly choose this or choose what you think is smart. You need to look at the SERP, right? Look at the search engine result page and choose what the people who are already winning are doing. Okay, all right. So now we have this. Now this is very important right here. This one little box is very, very important. It says, I deliver goods and services to my customers at their location. Okay, so whether or not you check this box is going to have some bearing on your listing and how it performs. Okay, so the best way to do this is to be honest. Okay, so if you are a a business that's really not a brick and mortar and you do mostly deliveries, then you want to click that. Okay, if you are a brick and mortar and your clients mostly come to you, then you don't want to click that. Okay, it's very important. All right, and you can read the guidelines here that kind of outline kind of what you want to do. Okay, for that. But if you say that you are a service area business, and I'll go over this more later, then your address will not show up in maps. Okay, and so there's some advantages and disadvantages to both ways. So, but for demonstration purposes, we're done here. We're going to click continue. Okay, all right. So now you are at the verification phase. All right. So here, this is already said. Wow, it looks like you're this same business, right? Let's say that it does, but this is not you. Okay. So again, for our demonstration, this is not you. We're going to go with keep the information I entered. Okay. And so what's going to happen next is you are going to, as it says here, we need to create a Google Plus page so you can manage your business. Okay. So you're going to verify all this, click the little I agree, I'm authorized person, and I'm going to click continue. Okay. All right. So now once you do this, it's going to go ahead and set up a Google My Business for you. Okay. Now this is the part where you have a little bit of wait time. All right. So you need to verify this address. So what that means is that you are going to click this, mail me my code. They're going to send a postcard to this address, usually in about 7 to 10 days. And once you have that, it's going to have a little code on it, which is going to allow you to verify this location. Okay. So that's very important that you go ahead and do this. All right. Now, I don't want to wait 2 weeks, obviously, to continue with the demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue and verify later. But to be crystal clear, at this point in the process, if you're doing this for real, you're going to go ahead and click mail me my code. Okay. All right. But we're going to continue so I can kind of go on to the next